Alright, so hi everyone, Austin from Coding Pals here, and today we will be taking a look at the Canadian Computing Competition 2018 Junior Problem 2, Occupy Parking. So you supervise a small parking lot which has n parking spaces. Yesterday you recorded which parking spaces were occupied by cars and which were empty. Today you recorded the same information. How many of the parking spaces were occupied both yesterday and today? So the input specification tells us that the first input will be integer n, and the second and third lines of input will contain n characters each. So the second line of input records information about yesterday's parking spaces, while the third line of input records the information about today's parking spaces. And it says each of these two n characters will either be C to indicate an occupied space, or a period to indicate it was an empty parking space. And if you look at if you look at the output specification first, it just tells us to output the number of parking spaces which are occupied yesterday and today. So sample input 1 just gives a result of 1, and that is because there's that second parking spot that reoccurs twice. So we can start coding this now. So we can call this number spots. This will be an integer, and then the second will be a string. So we can call that yesterday spots, and then we can call our third variable today spots. So this problem can just be achieved with using a simple for loop, and within that we will have an if statement to check if yesterday spots is equal to a C or occupied spot, and today's spot is equal to a C or occupied spot. So we can and then we can add that to a counter and then print that counter at the end. So let's create our counter first. Counter will just start at 0, and then this is our for loop. So if yesterday spots so equal to C, and then you can just write if today spots is also equal to C. Then we can just finish with adding that to the counter. So basically plus equal is just a shortened version for saying counter is equal to counter plus 1. So that is about it. So we can just print our counter, and that should be it for the problem. You can copy and paste this into Dmod. And yeah, so that's it. Really simple. And we always have to so just a summary of the skills used in this lesson. So J2s usually require like a for loop, and then maybe a if statement. So essentially what we did today is we made a for loop and then checked if the spots in both of the respective strings equals to C, and if it is, we just add 1 to the counter and then just print that counter. So that's it for this tutorial today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.